You know, you don't think that you're going to get any points from this match, and to get still 1 point is good for West Brom.
Well, certainly lots of positives for Slaven Bilic to build on for sure. We'll talk about it all after the break, but let's just show you first what's happened today. It's been quite an entertaining day. Manchester United won their first game of the season with the last kick of the game. Crystal Palace lost out to Everton. Everton have the perfect record so far this Premier League campaign. As for West Brom, we've just seen they've drawn to Chelsea at the Hawthorns, and we'll be bringing you the live coverage of Burnley against Southampton later. More exciting games to come this weekend. Sheffield United play Leeds United, the first Yorkshire derby in 19 years in the Premier League, and then the match week ends on Monday night. It's the big one everyone's looking forward to. Liverpool against Arsenal at Anfield. 72 goals have been scored between those two in their last 16 meetings in all competitions. I think we're expecting goals in that one as well. Well, let's just show you how the league table looks then at this stage of match week 3. So Chelsea are in 6th after earning a point very late on, and let's have a look at the bottom of the table. And West Brom, well, they climb up to 15th. They started the day in 20th, but they're up to 15th, so out of the bottom 3. Well, we'll give you a moment to take a breath. It's the first time that Chelsea have ever come from 3 goals down to...
Frank, in the end, is that a case of mixed emotions after what you've seen tonight?
Yeah, in the end, because there's 2 points lost. That's no disrespect to West Brom, but to come here and sort of understand the game and know that transition and mistakes will be something they would jump on to counter-attack against us, and set pieces. Spoke about it before the game. You can't legislate for pure mistakes, which they were today, and then it gives you a really difficult game to get back in. So I can laud character, because we showed character and persistence, but we didn't need to if we did things properly in the game.
The goals you conceded, were they precisely the kind of goals that you're working so hard to try and eradicate at the moment?
Yeah, but you, as I say, mistakes, clear mistakes. The first one, Marcus heads it into the middle of the pitch for them for a transition. Thiago one is a mistake. He's been around long enough to know that, and we'll certainly give him that one in his first game. And then Marcus loses his man for the third goal from the corner. Clear mistakes. So there's can do as many meetings as you want. If you're going to make those mistakes, you give yourself a mountain to climb.
You made 2 changes at half-time. What did you feel you needed to change about in terms of the performance of the team as a whole?
Bit of urgency in the team, a bit of speed of pass to move it. Aspie brings personality straight into the team, even at left back. And Callum brought 1v1, something different, got our people, things that Callum needs to do and can do because of his talent. So he made a big difference.
How did you see that you would come back into this game? What did you see in that team? What did you tell them? What was your message that convinced there was something they could still get out of this today?
At half time?
Yes.
Well, because it's clear. I mean, we created, I don't know, 2 or 3 really great chances in the first half. I felt we were going to create more. The only problem when you're 3 down is that West Brom are going to really seriously protect the lead, which means dropping back, which means frustrating moments and staying patient. And we did that to a big degree. But it's a big lesson for us. Big lesson in the detail of a game. Doesn't matter how much you can create, because we will create a lot and we will get a lot better. We're definitely finding our way with new players into the team and a lack of pre-season, so we will get better. But today is part of the process of getting better, just to accept the things that aren't right in our game today, because we lost 2 points.
Tommy, congratulations on the goal, but was that pure relief on your part to rescue a result in this game?
It was. In the first half we made it difficult. I had a chance in the first half that I should have put away, and someone at my level should take them chances. We had a few chances in the first half and they scored from every shot, and we knew we had to come out in the second half and keep going, not drop our heads, and that's what we've done. You did mention the early chances, but how as a team did you make it so difficult for yourselves in that first half? I think when the first few chances don't go in, you start to panic a bit, and we made a few errors, and at our level we shouldn't make them errors, but we're still a work in progress, and hopefully we can improve. Your manager made changes at half-time, but in terms of his message to you as a team, what was necessary to be said? We all kind of went in and everyone's a bit head down and all sorts, so he had to lift us up. He said we don't look like a team right now willing to go out in the second half, and as a team we had to lift each other, and as you can see in the performance in the second half. How important, looking back, was Mason Mount's goal coming when it did? Very important, very important. We knew we had to come out in the second half and try to get that early goal, and thankfully Mason got that goal, which gave us good belief. As a team, did you genuinely believe at half-time you could get back into this game and secure something? I knew we'll get a few chances. You know, to come back from 3-0 is never easy, and you know, give credit to the boys who never dropped their heads, and we kept going even though it looks like it was impossible.
You are a work in progress team, as you rightly said, but what should you as a team take away from this 90 odd minutes?
First of all, we need to cut out the mistakes as a team, not just defensive work. As a team, we need to cut out the mistakes so we don't concede. We need to be strong together and just keep encouraging one another.
Well, they certainly did encourage one another in that. Pleased with the character that they showed in that second half, do you think?
Yes, it's a big step, but you don't want to become a team that just reacts, you know, after the event. You want to become a team that does it straight away. They needed to react in this matter. They did. It was always about the first goal. Can we get it? Can you get it as quick as possible? And then you will make them nervous. They did get it. And yes, second half they were better. The intensity was higher, but then still it's a work in progress. The giving chances away need to stop, otherwise you're going to go nowhere.
Okay, well, shall we have a look at that third goal from Chelsea in the second half? Tammy Abraham just before full time, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea were putting all the pressure on at this point, knocking balls, hopeful balls in the main into the box, and they get a little bit of luck. The ball drops, should have been cleared properly by Robson Cano, but then the ball drops, and that's exactly who you want. You'd centre forward. Look at him, he's proactive, he's waiting for that type of mistake, and it comes, and he can't miss from there. We see a slight handball there as well, Seema, which last season might have contributed to the goal being disallowed, but the new rules this year means it's not, and obviously Abraham nicking the point at the end.
Absolutely, you're spot on there. Well, let's actually update you and cheers. This is obviously from IFAB. The updated handball guideline is that it is not an offence if after an accidental handball the ball travels some distance, pass or dribble, and or there are several passes before the goal or goal scoring opportunity, Jimmy.
Very confusing, but luckily for Chelsea that the rule has been changed and that they don't have to go back. Although he puts it back in, you can see that it hits Kai's hand, arm, and it gets cleared, not well, luckily for Chelsea again. But then what happens after Abraham runs in as a good striker would and picks up the pieces, and it becomes a really simple goal, and it's 3-3.
And it is a good thing, Michael, isn't it? Because we want to see goals like that stand, don't we?
Yeah, we do. It's not just to see more goals, it's just for fairness, really. That's why we want a good rule. And I agree with that. Listen, if the ball had hit his arm, he crosses it, and Abraham scores, then it will be disallowed. But then, you know, West Brom have had the opportunity to clear it. It's then dropped to a Chelsea player. He's then shot, and, you know, there's a couple of phases before that. So, you know, I know people say, well, how far do you have to go back? But I think it's pretty easy to know now that, one, if it hits the arm of the goal scorer or the assist maker. So apart from that, it's a much better rule.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the other Chelsea goals. The first Chelsea goal came from Mason Mount. Do you think the keeper should have done better with this one, though, Jimmy?
Yes, he should, but he's guessing. We all know, great cross from James. We all know that Mason Mount can do this. He's got a wicked shot, but the goalkeeper already makes a step to the left because he's thinking that it's going to his left corner, and then he's way too late to go back on himself because all his weight is there. He makes a little step and he's too late. He can't guess. He has to wait, and if he doesn't guess, he might have put a hand against this.
And you know, the one thing you can't allow is Mason Mount, because you know what he's capable of doing.
Yeah, he's got a record of scoring goals right the way through his youth career as well, so we know that he's a midfielder similar in many ways to Frank Lampard. He likes making late runs, he likes shooting. Sometimes I think he can, because everybody knows he's going to shoot, sometimes he should have a little bit of disguise and fake to shoot and slip some balls in, but he was absolutely right to shoot there, and that's the end result because he does hit a good ball.
Well, at half-time we were sat here wondering what Frank Lampard would do with this team, what substitutions would be made. Hudson-Odoi was brought on, and he made an impact because he scored the second goal for Chelsea.
He made an impact, a great goal, the second goal. Here James was a little bit lucky, but then here Odoi gets the ball from Werner and finds a 1-2 with Kai. and the finish is really, really good. It's a really good finish. I would be proud of that. I think Mike would be proud of that as well, Michael. But although he can do so much more, he can do so much more. He made the difference in the second goal, but there is so many more moments that he can really, be a little bit more dominant and attack the defenders and go more. He's got that in him.
Yeah, I agree. I think I was more excited about Hudson-Odoi about 2 years ago than I am now. I'm watching him now and thinking, is it that Achilles injury? It was a bad injury. You don't want to really rupture your Achilles tendon. It is a bad injury. But I thought he was even more exciting. I was watching him a couple of years ago and he was beating players, he was running at players. Now that was a brilliant goal. Great finish, but it's not what we're used to seeing. He's more of a tricky winger that gets past people and crosses the ball in. So I want to see him return to that level. Maybe, as I say, the excuse is he's had a bad injury, so hopefully it takes a bit of time and he's getting back over that now.